Since 1991, Japan's GDP growth has averaged just 0.83% annually, compared to 2.58% for the United States. On the surface, this seems to prove that Japan's economic policies have failed, but the truth is far more complex than the surface data suggests. Japan is conducting an unprecedented economic experiment, and the results will determine the fate of every other country in the world. The core question of this experiment is, how long can a developed economy maintain prosperity when its workforce starts shrinking? Economics has a simple but profound formula. Total output equals total hours worked times average productivity. This means economic growth has only two pathways. Either get people to work more hours, or get them to create more value in the same amount of time. When we reanalyze Japan's economic performance using this formula, we discover a completely different picture. American workers are putting in about 1% more hours each year, mainly because population growth is bringing more workers into the fold. Meanwhile, Japanese workers' total hours are declining by about 0.43% annually, because more people are retiring than entering the workforce. But here's the key insight. Productivity data. Japan's hourly productivity is growing at about 1.26%, compared to 1.53% for the US. Given the demographic headwinds Japan faces, this gap isn't that significant. In fact, if we look at per capita output, Japan's economic performance is actually pretty impressive. So what does this reveal? When we dig deeper into these numbers, a stunning reality emerges. Japan's sluggish economic growth isn't due to poor economic management. It's the natural consequence of demographic change. Economists call this phenomenon Japanification, a state where economic growth slows, but living standards remain relatively stable. This discovery is revolutionary. It means our traditional metric for measuring economic performance, GDP growth rate, might be obsolete in an age of population decline. More importantly, it signals that other major economies worldwide are about to face the same challenge.
Japanification isn't economic decline, it's a new economic normal. In this state, economic growth is slow but steady, inflation stays low, and living standards basically hold their ground. Japanese people still live relatively prosperous lives, with per capita income remaining at high levels. But Japanification does bring two major challenges: declining influence on the world economic stage and rapid accumulation of government debt. Japan's public debt to GDP ratio has reached the highest level in the world, serving as a warning bell for other countries about to face similar challenges. What happens next? The International Monetary Fund predicts that Japan's economic growth will decline